Hello and welcome to Own the Horror. I'm Fedora, and welcome back to the Full Moonathon. Today, I thought we should look at the series that isn't just Full Moon Studios' flagship franchise, but also the one with by far the most entries in it, with at the time of this video, 10 movies in this library. I'm talking, of course, about Puppet Master.
Puppet Master first came to life the same year as The Company did, 1989, and tells the story of a group of psychic friends who gather together to investigate the suicide of one of their other friends, only to be attacked and killed off by a group of living puppets, including the hook and knife-handed Blade, the super strong Pinhead, and the grotesque Leech Woman. Over the many sequels to the franchise, we learn the origins of these pint-sized slaughterers. Decades ago, they were regular puppets owned by a talented ventriloquist named Andre Toulon. Toulon's life was forever changed, though, when he discovered an ancient Egyptian magic for bringing life, and used this magical liquid to actually give life to his puppets. Unfortunately, the Nazis discovered Toulon's secret and attempted to steal it from him by any means necessary. They tried and were killed for it many times over the series, eventually leading to Toulon's own suicide. But even without their master, the puppets continued to slaughter and gain new members to their ranks over the franchise run.
But the puppets are only as evil as the person who awakens them. So in 1993, we got our first glance at what these little guys would be like in the protagonist role. This is Puppet Master 4.
So this movie starts in Shao Kahn's fortress, with this quite amazingly bad demon costume. Or is this one of the puppets?
The power is ours, and ours alone it must remain.
Oh, I see. This is the demon who Toulon stole the magic from in the first place to make his puppets live. Well, if that's the case, if this is the visual quality of the villains of this movie, then I know exactly who to call to deal with him.
So Lord Zed here sends one of his minions to this human laboratory called Biotech Industries, where it seems they design skill testers that not only can steal your money faster, but can arrange it all in color order.
Well, I'll be damned.
Excited by this, the robot's creator, Dr. Piper, calls up her co-worker, Johnson?
So, when can we see the completed prototype?
So what is this experiment you're working on now, Johnson? An Ed 209 for preschoolers? Is this really all you could get after OCP closed its doors?
Knock it off, Johnson.
Whatever. So, the security guard brings up a mysterious box that Lord Zed's minion left downstairs, and Dr. Piper opens it up to find a strange little demon doll that then comes to life and attacks her.
Okay, I can understand being shocked and surprised by this, obviously. But I have a little trouble believing that something, 8, 9 inches tall, is capable of overpowering and killing a full-grown adult human. I mean, you get things like the puppets and Chucky, obviously, who are able to kill their victims via stealth. Because if they just ran up screaming at their victims, you'd probably just end up with this happening.
And what the hell are you guys looking at? Are you seeing through that thing's eyes? Is this porn to you? Do you send it into women's showers and changing rooms?
You make me sick! Alright. That is Shannon Elizabeth's address. Okay, just head right there.
So, after Mini Monster kills Dr. Piper and steals her soul for Lord Zed, maybe he really is Shao Kahn.
Finish her.
We zoom over to the inn from the original, occupied by Rick, another scientist who works with Dr. Piper and Johnson, playing laser tag with some robots. But it seems this experiment doesn't go quite as well as Rick would have hoped.
Using a random number sequence generated by the Gamma Pi code series 000-3 has met with the same results as in previous trials. Once again, although the robots reacted with speed and efficiency, their behavior was utterly predictable and stayed within the parameters of their programming. We're left no closer to the creation of artificial intelligence.
Wait a minute, you guys are trying to create AI, and the first things you want to teach it is preschool games that could involve it with children, followed immediately by random and unprovoked shooting?
Skynet, the early years.
It almost makes me think that maybe Lord Zed is the good guy in this, because next on the mini-demon killing block is Johnson. But before we actually get to see his demise, we have to get our teen victims sorted. Okay, the Heather Lanningkamp lookalike. Guess they're all sorted if the puppets try to invade their nightmares. Yep, the psychic doomsayer, that's a check. But I still feel like we're missing something.
So, Mr. Caretaker, I'm starved. Where's Din?
No, I don't think we're missing a shithead. After all, due to the nature of these experiments you guys are working on, we already have quite enough people we'd like to see die horrible deaths.
Speaking of which...
The hell kind of transition was that?
Okay, so, back with the teens. As they sit around living out their chosen stereotypes, we see that the puppets, or at least Blade anyway, are still up and moving around, and getting messages from the ghost of Andre Toulon, who warns Blade that something evil is on its way. So naturally, the best place for the psychic girl Lauren to find herself in is this creepy old basement. Give it 2 minutes and that moose head is going to start laughing at you. Oh, come on, it wasn't that scary. Oh, wait, she just found Toulon's old traveling trunk containing the rest of the puppets, including Pinhead, Tunneler, and Six Shooter, as well as the aforementioned stolen magical liquid that once injected will bring the puppets to life.
That Puppet Master guy may have had the answer to the entire Omega Project. Everything we've been working for could be standing right here.
Now all we gotta do is teach him how to play laser tag!
Bugger me, he actually does. A whimsical moment if you forget that chronologically by this point these puppets have committed several dozen horrific murders. But Lord Zed does not approve of these fun and games, and now sends in a trio of his little gremlins to kill the teens and reclaim the magic that Toulon stole. Lauren and Preppy McDouchicus try to escape the inn, but one of the demons gets into the car with them and jump cuts this guy to death.
Well, it's clear to me that these tiny plastic monsters are far too much for these full-grown adults to handle. Let's hand it over to the even smaller puppets to deal with.
Blade and the others track one of the demons down into the inn's kitchen, where he and Pinhead hold it against a wall, allowing Tunneler to drill its guts out.
Hang on, Lord Zed. Are you saying that if these little creatures are killed, that also destroys your minions? Are you a fucking idiot?
What the hell is the point of putting your entire life force into something less than a third of your size? Okay, Maybe this magic was decent for the stealth assassination plans you used before, but if you're going for an all-out attack on a large group, which you clearly are, why use the tiny toy monsters that are far easier to realistically deal with if they're just gonna kill you anyway if they're destroyed? You might as well just go in person! All 8 freaking feet of you! The voice of Toulon calls out again to the puppets and tells them of a new puppet that they could use to end this battle, named Decapitron. They find Decapitron in a smaller trunk upstairs and proceed to hook up this whole Frankenstein setup to try and bring him to life. Why not just, I don't know, inject the liquid like you did with all the others? I guess this is just an excuse to show off more of the ventriloquism, which I gotta say is really good. Same with the stop motion in a lot of scenes. So why does Lord Zed look and move so shitty? Oh, speaking of which, another one of his mini-me's enters the room.
It's a foot tall! Just run up and kick it, for Christ's sake!
No, let's again let the puppets handle it. It is pretty clear that they have far more balls. Yep, that's a face that says, wow, I really am a little bitch, huh? Speaking of faces...
I am with you.
Well, there's something that'll haunt my nightmares for the next couple of days. Well, actually, it's none other than the ghost of Andre Toulon, who tells Rick that, yes, indeed, only Decapitron can defeat the last demon and save the day. So Rick and the other useless humans aid the puppets in bringing it to life. I like how shocked and amazed everyone looks, even though this is like the 7th time they've seen this exact same thing happen tonight. So now that Decapitron is up and about, let's see what he can do as the last of the little demons barges into the room.
Excellent work, Decapitron. You were clearly the only person who could handle this task. Because if not, it would fall to the humans and, well, they're pretty shit.
I'll get you next time, Power Rangers! So, with the day saved, that terrifying Toulon head appears again and deems Rick the new puppet master and guardian of the magical liquid.
Because he clearly deserves that with all of his... laser tag?
With his new title and responsibility, this movie comes to an end in a flash of white.
And that was Puppet Master 4.
Oh, man. Oh, this movie is great. Yeah, you heard me right. I mean, yeah, it is eye-rollingly cheesy, it's jammed full of stupid and easy to make fun of moments, and there's a lot of padding in it. But at the same time, there is a lot of effort put into it as well. If not on the human characters who, to be honest, weren't overly bad as actors, then most definitely on the non-human ones. The ventriloquism, like all the movies before, is great. Most of the time. Same with the stop motion in a lot of the scenes. So for fans of the series, or fans of just so bad it's good in general, this is definitely a guilty pleasure you can enjoy.
And that's all we have time for tonight. So, I'm Fedora, this is the Horror. Save a screen for me. I'll see you next time.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
We're a team of teenagers with attitude.